So it's Friday night, just drinking a beer, and I've got in here in my Nintendo 64 Killer Instinct Gold, which I kind of touched on a bit on my last video. Well, I believe it was my last video, I've not double checked. It was a Super Nintendo version of Killer Instinct that video is based on. I don't know whether that just made sense. But anyway, without further ado, we'll hit record and boot this up. So this is supposed to be sort of like a rejigged version of Killer Instinct 2, the arcade game. Actually just change the options if I can. Game speed, normal, difficulty, very easy. I believe this. I'm not sure whether this. I'm not sure whether this game's got battery backup on it. I can't remember. I think it might have. I'm sure it saves your options. So we'll go arcade. It looks like there's a team mode in there and all sorts. So some new characters and some missions. I think she's new. Doesn't actually tell you what the names are until you select characters. That guy's new. And off the top of my head, the only mission. Oh shit! Didn't want her. Kim Woo. She's new as well, I think. Yeah, off the top of my head, the only mission I can think of is the Tomahawk guy, the guy with the fucking Tomahawk. So anyway, as usual, I pick TJ Combo. My main gripe with this game is the Nintendo 64 control pad. It's just not good for fighting games, really. You can jump around with the analog stick, but I prefer to go old school with the D-pad. As you can see here, I'm just trying to work the bloody controls out. Fake combos. So there's interactive parts of the levels. As you can see, main difference between this and the Super Nintendo version, or so say the fucking first Killer Instinct game. See, that's what the beard does to you. Main difference is the 3D backgrounds. However, of course, the original Killer Instinct arcade game actually had 3D backgrounds, so it's just that Super Nintendo wasn't capable. This is another kind of gripe that I've got with the game. When it zooms in, I don't think the scaling's very good. So we'll make a break from the normal. I'll actually pick a different character. Skeletor, sorry. Spinal's pretty fucking cheap on this game, so if I remember correctly, you can just keep doing the same move if I can find it. Or is it? That's the one. That's what I call being cheap. I'm invincible. So, also you got kind of same music for this stage. Well, we got the music, Orchid's music, should I say? Because it looks like a different stage, obviously. I believe original stage was a rooftop, but didn't have a helicopter on it, so. Yeah, I just don't find this game to be as slick. I don't like the way the view is zoomed out and then it zooms in. I think the characters are too small on the screen to begin with. Spinal. It's actually kind of a semi-sought after game, this is. Same as with my Super Nintendo, my requirement for picking up a Nintendo 64 bundle, because I wanted to pick up one with multiple games, was that it came with Killer Instinct Gold. It was a game I'd played before I got the Nintendo 64, but only on emulators, so it was always a problem configuring controllers and such. But I'm talking in the early days of Nintendo 64 emulators, like, you know, before the Xbox 360 controller came out and became sort of standardised on the PC. Usually you'd find a controller and then it'd just be impossible to configure it, like the analog stick, etc. for the emulator. So there are some cheap characters, not just that. I mean, a brutal combo just from ducking and doing that is ridiculous. Brutal. So the music's pretty decent for a fighting game, like the first Killer Instinct game. It's got sort of like floating combos as well, like you can see there. You can hit people while they're still in the air, so literally fighter-esque almost. Yeah, as with most Nintendo 64 games, obviously you get that kind of blurry effect. Sometimes I do find it harder to play Nintendo 64 games. I do like the Sega Saturn, and obviously the Nintendo 64 would have been a much more powerful system at the time. But you know, the Saturn's just got that vibrancy and the sharpness, and yeah, things always just seem to come across really blurry. I know there's a fucking technical definition for what causes it, but I'll be buggered if I can be asked to look it up. So as you can see, I'm not, I won't say I'm a Killer Instinct expert. I've played it quite a lot in the past, but I usually forget all the special moves, etc. But as you can see, I could pick it up as Spinal, bang it on very easy, and yeah, almost look like I know what I'm doing, but obviously I don't. You can see on this level there's quite a lot of panning around and zooming, so it kind of varies from level to level what the camera's doing. So obviously you've got the odd interactive object here and there. Yeah, I whooped his ass. Like the first Killer Instinct game, you've got 2 life bars, and there isn't rounds, it's just you've got 2 life bars, and when they're both depleted, that's it. So you can see this, there's not really much scope for panning around on this level. Trying to be cheap and failing at the moment, but I'm clawing it back a bit. Getting it back, bitch. Oh, he's getting it back now. For fuck's sake. Overall, I do think this, although I don't like the panning around and yeah, I just prefer the more basic 2D action in Super Nintendo Killer Instinct game. I will say this game is worth owning in its own right, because it's kind of got its own style going on. You know, the 2D characters with the 3D backgrounds, which is pretty cool. Vaginal! This guy's cheap as hell. I could fucking never get past this cunt. See if we can do it now. See if my cheapness can outdo his cheapness. If you're a bit of a noob when it comes to games, you don't know what I mean when I'm saying cheap. What I mean is just using the same move over and over again, or just a move that's just not very balanced. Another word is spamming, where you just use the same move over and over again. Spamming like you're fucking sending them an email over and over again. Fucking claw this back now. Yeah, I've done him. Fucking first time as well. Cunt. Fatals. One. And woo. What does M-woo rhyme with? Answers on the back of the postcard, please. Just to inform you, I haven't actually tried finding out what any of the Spinal special moves are by trial and error in this video. The main reason is that usually I just use Spinal for his cheap attacks, so he's pretty effective in that way. He actually seems to have a different basic move set over the first Killer Instinct game, because I'm sure I've noticed in the past that when I've gone back to the original Killer Instinct, I've been trying to do that cheap uppercut type move with the sword, and it just doesn't work. Spinal. Very much. A pretty cool stage here, the Spinal one, with the pirate ship thing going on, with all the other Skeletor type motherfuckers. It'd be awesome if there was a Killer Instinct He-Man pack. Obviously, in these days you didn't have DLC, but a He-Man won't go amiss in this game, I don't think. Yeah, that's a lesson on being cheap. Cheap like a $2 hooker, motherfucker! Hell yeah! One just to say something, and then I realised I was going to say wrong. But it's worth noting that there doesn't seem to be as much blood in this game as there was in the first Killer Instinct game. But I don't know whether that's just me. I may be wrong. What's going on here? Is it going to be a massive, ridiculous fucking combo or something? Because it's just going endless on and on. Fucking what? You know, his fucking life bar got depleted a long time ago. Killer Juggle, 19 hits. I just did a fucking 19 hit fucking combo! Fuck on that! Fucking yes! Can't be asked to do it again. It took about fucking 15 minutes, like. Whacking that motherfucker up in the air. They're pretty sweet that you can do ridiculous combos without much knowledge of the character or the game in general. But also it's a bit of a shame because what do the Killer Instinct Masters do? I suppose they've got like combo breakers and shit. So that's the end of that. So to get any further, like the first Killer Instinct game, you have to play on a high difficulty level. But that's Killer Instinct Gold for the Nintendo 64. I don't think it's as good as the Super Nintendo version of the game. I've never played Killer Instinct 2, the arcade game. I've briefly played the first Killer Instinct arcade game, but I can't really remember it too well. But for me, the best console version of Killer Instinct is the first Killer Instinct game on the Super Nintendo. But this is still a great fighting game. But if you can hunt down a controller that's more suited to fighting games on the Nintendo 64, then I think the game would be a lot better. I know there are different options out there when it comes to controllers, but definitely worth picking up and having a little go on it.